Hey, you're watching In The Frame with me, Jeanette Jimenez, and with us today is Freddie Streeter.
Hey.
Hey, you have a business called Veterans Pre-Construction and Visual Solutions, right?
Mm-hmm.
What inspired you to create that business?
Oh, originally, when I created the first company, because I had a company prior to that one, it was called Streeter Construction, and then I migrated that into what it is now. But the original plan or my original thought, there were, at the time in the federal market, there were only 4 African-American companies that had hit 100 million, and I wanted to be the 5th. So
Wow.
to be the 5th, I had to deal with, building a company and dealing with processes and dealing with systems. And that was something very rare in the minority company side, of construction. So I wanted to fill that gap. And there came Streeter Construction, and then now Veterans Pre-Construction.
So you're a professional project consultant.
I am. I'm
What
sorry.
does that mean?
So a professional project consultant means I can set up a project for you. I can plan the project for you. I can develop the project for you, and that can be a multiple things. It just depends on, what market you're in, what verticals you're in. That can be pre-construction services. That could be design assist services. I'm not an architect, but I can do design assist. That could be team development. That can be constructability reviews, and it's like a really wide gamut of what a professional consultant means. It also means forensic work. I do a ton of forensic work, and I get that look all the time.
I'm like,
Yes.
yes, I need that service.
Yes, there is forensic work in construction because when things happen, especially on large projects, and you have things like change orders or cost overruns or schedule overruns, somebody at the end of the day has to pay the cost for that or deduct the cost. And so a forensic PM, such as me, will come in and we'll kind of dissect the entire project or dissect the accident or whatever it was and figure out who owns what, so who should be paying what. So
Okay, wow, that's like an overview of everything, and you do touch on a lot of different elements there
from
in the
end to
business.
end, I handle everything from development. You can bring me some money and say, hey, I have X amount of budget and I want to do this, and you just give me what's called a constructability review, or just processes or design thoughts, and we'll put it into a design, tell you how much it's going to cost, tell you what you can get in that budget.
Who are your clients?
My core client, my core market is the federal market. So that's DOD, which is Army, Air Force, anything under DOD, Army, Air Force, Navy, Marines, Department of Commerce is different, but them two. And then outside of DOD, I will do VA, which is Veteran Administration work. For example, the VA hospital here, I designed and built that first parking garage. So we do stuff like that, and that's my pride project. That's why I mentioned it. As many as like 2010 when we finished it, but it's a 5-story, 795 car parking garage.
Wow, that's a huge project.
So
Gosh, how long did that take?
It had a 10-month schedule, and it was the original budget was $4.5 million. It ended up being just under 7 million, and it was the largest single contract at that time they had given to a minority contractor.
Wow, that's
They did a big
quite
ceremony
accomplishment.
and everything.
Yeah, oh my gosh, is that where can we find those articles? Is it on your website?
Not yet. So
Okay.
some of them I have to kind of relocate because I've kind of been through a bunch of moves and stuff like that, and a couple other situations.
Yeah.
But I do have some that's coming up on a new updated website.
Okay.
And it shows some of the schematics from the original project. I've had a hard time finding some of the magazine articles and stuff that they did back then.
Yeah, so they published.
Yeah, because they did a whole ceremony. It was the first parking garage they had.
Oh, yeah, that's
And
a
they
big deal.
needed it forever, and we got a chance to build the first one. So they did everything. So I've been trying to track all that stuff down so I can pull it into the site now.
Oh yeah, I mean that would be great for for your clients to see and the process and the progress that it's gone through. So with your company, what were the defining moments that shaped your career?
Defining moments that shaped my career. I think there were two. Okay. The first one, as a very young man, there was this guy, Mr. Lewis, that stayed on my block, and he was kind of like that handyman in the neighborhood that does everything. He owned several little buildings back in Detroit.
Yeah.
And I used to ask him for a job all the time, and I was just little. What was I? I was maybe 14.
Okay.
And every day I would ask him for a job. He's like, "Oh no, I don't have anything for you right now." But
so he's like a mentor.
Yeah. So he was the guy, and then I stayed consistent for a whole summer. He didn't give me a job, but then one day he was like, "You know what? Can you help me move some stuff in the back?" And never paid me, just had me move it. And next day he asked me for more, and then later in the summer he just asked me. Then he started paying me. Never actually gave me a job.
Okay.
But he just kept paying me. Yeah. Then one day I asked him, he's like, "Well, you don't need a job right now. You just need to learn how to be consistent."
Oh, wow. That's great advice.
Right. And I was consistent. He paid me and I helped him and he taught me a lot. And then later on in life, my mentor, which was a project manager named Andy Rebeska, he was the one that took me from being an entry-level project manager to being a full project manager and helping me understand like the entire project life cycle and why that's important. How to, because so many people in the construction industry, like we talked about before, cut corners. So the experience, I've been doing this forever type thing, and stuff like that. He says you will run into a bunch of those people. He said, but if you stick to the plan you made and develop for the project, you'll always have a successful project. So those two core lessons.
Wow, at age 12.
Well, the first one was at 14. About somewhere between 13 and 14. And the second one was a little bit later on when I started the original Streeter construction.
Okay. Wow, that's but you put yourself in that position where you were dedicated to learn more, and you so it does take that will to do that.
Absolutely.
I mean, and then it will get you far.
Right. I agree 100%.
And you did mention that you were in the military, right?
Yes.
So how did your military experience influence your leadership style?
So for me, the military gave me structure, gave me discipline. Coming up, growing up in Detroit and stuff like that, trust me, we didn't have a whole bunch of that. At least I didn't. I was wild when I was coming up. But once I got into the military, just understanding that if you plan something, you execute it, and then you understand how to pull the lessons from what that was, you can just continuously improve yourself. But in order to do that, you had to continue to stay at it, and you had to know where you're going and stuff like that. And I think that's what the military gives a lot of us, because the discipline to plan it, the discipline to stay with it, and the discipline to say, okay, here's what I learned, here's what I messed up, here's what I didn't mess up, here's what well, and then how to take that and move it into the next time you do it or anything else you do. So. Okay,
how many years were you in the military?
11.
11, okay. Yes, that should give you enough discipline and planning and structure.
And you know me now, so I am very strategic at what I do. The original Streeter Construction Group, which was named based off my last name. This time, when I actually, kind of remade the company, if you will, I wanted to be more marketing centric. And in my world, federal constructions, where you got certifications, service disabled vet certifications, and women owned and so on, I wanted people to know right away, without seeing me or know who I am, that this is a veteran-owned company.
Okay.
And that was my core reason for putting it up front.
Yes, and I think it's really an ideal way to, to show like people, it's like, hey, this is something it's produced by veterans, so it's trustworthy. It's also like it's well-rounded, especially in, just because you've served, and it's the loyalty that comes with it and everything like that.
Right. I almost wore my shirt today too.
Oh, you should.
I have my company shirt. I got a big old circle that say Veterans Free Construction right there. So let me be a little bit more.
Yeah, but no worries. I mean, you can flaunt it all you want.
Oh yeah, trust me, I do.
How long have you been in the company, or how long?
This one here, this version of the company, it's been get ready to be, what is this? It's going to be 4 years. Yeah. So it's working on 4 years. So it's the end of 2022 when I officially started it. But I originally started it as a true consultant, because I was working with so many small GCs that wanted to get into the federal market. So I specialize in that process. That's where it started. But about maybe 2 years in, I just kind of say, okay, I'm leaving too much money on the table, because I was helping them with a lot of projects and a lot of their work and stuff like that. And I was making money without the risk, because it was their companies and their projects, and I was just a consultant. But I was leaving too much money on the table. And I got tired of telling business owners, hey, your project is messed up because you did this. And they say, oh, no, but I've did it forever. So I got tired of that. So I just decided to just stand my business all the way back up. And that led me back to just bidding more work, still consulting. I consult till today, but bidding more work and just expanding what I do as a company, because I also have a training division of my company. So, and that's really like front for me right now as a whole. As a whole, I started the original company in 2025.
Okay.
And then we kind of pulled that company out right around 2014. And then I went back to school again because I was kind of tired of construction. But I still consulted. I just didn't want to deal with nobody. And then I officially stood the company back up in 2022, then all the way back up in late 2023, early 24.
Okay.
So spanned over quite a few years, but I've been in construction all my life.
Oh, yeah.
Besides the military.
Yes. And based on everything that you've learned and the business, what philosophy would you like to apply or share to people out there in going through their own careers and businesses?
That's a good question. My philosophy, or what I would like to share, is just really, truly understand your business, what you want to accomplish with your business, and what processes and systems you need to accomplish what you decide you want to accomplish with the business. My philosophy is, if you understand every nuance about your business and how it acts or interacts with your market, then everything else is kind of downstream from that.
Okay. So, what are the biggest challenges that you faced in the past 25 years? And how did you overcome them?
Painful. No.
I agree.
Yeah, and I'm not backing off of that either. The biggest challenges is people. And I don't really mean that in like a negative sense, but it kind of tails back to understanding your business as well, right? Because even when I had to restructure my company, it was because of people, and not understanding like where we going and why we want to get there. And I was married at the time, and I realized that money changes people. When people change, then you start getting all these little things that creep in, the jealousies and the trust and all of that type of stuff.
Yeah, so it just comes out of nowhere.
Right, it just comes out of nowhere. And it comes from the least likely places that you would think it comes from, right? It's not supposed to come from these places.
Yeah, it surprises you. It's like, oh
right.
My God.
But I would say people, and you have to really just stay true to you and what you want to do no matter what, And that's difficult when you consider, maybe marriage or siblings or something like that. But even in that situation, you have to stay true to where you are going. And unfortunately, sometimes you have to cut people off. But it's a necessary evil.
Yeah. So, I mean, planning and structuring your life, I mean, like business, will help you in life as well when you decide to like settle down, have a family.
Right.
And, just organize that.
I think if you consider the fact that, if you consider two scenarios, right? If I go into anything, especially family and stuff, kids and all that, without a plan, then everything is guesswork. Everything that hits you becomes a major wall or obstacle or stuff like that. But if you have a plan, then everything that hits you is just based off of, making adjustments, right? Because you already had a plan, you already knew where you were going, you already anticipated certain things. And not to say that things don't come up, but in my experience, if you have a plan and you automatically can see certain type contingencies along the way, then you can plan for those as well, and you can easier adapt to them. So.
Okay. Yeah, that's good advice. I mean, there are times when I didn't even plan things and I had to just make up as I go. I know. I'm like, what am I doing then? Oh God. And then, yeah, it puts you in a halt, like a stop. You're like, stop. Because, you keep going, you're going to keep making mistakes, and we got to keep fixing them. And then just the time, energy, things, and frustration. So it's just tough. But yes, planning is.
And that's learning too. We get through it. So.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, totally. So I think we kind of touched on like how investing in planning is so important in life and in business, because it saves time, money, and frustration, right?
Right.
And you kind of touched on those processes, right? Did you leave anything out on that?
I don't think so. Okay. Just understand just build your processes.
Okay.
Build all of your systems and stuff like that before you hire. Whether it's director type hire, people, accounting and stuff like that, or it's employees. Don't just bring an employee in and say, here, go to work. Bring an employee in and plug them into a system that you've already built. It's a better employee.
So speaking of employees, so what if you're just starting out and you don't have the means to pay an employee? What are some options that, small businesses or entrepreneurs can look into?
I would say that one, don't hire one, because most of the time you don't need one at that point, especially now since you factor in what AI can do, right? But even with AI, you still need to understand what you are trying to accomplish. So if you're bootstrapping, no money, stuff like that, then I would spend most of my time just understanding my market and where I fit, and my product and where it fits. So you get into stuff like product market fit, market fit product and all this stuff that I won't go all the way down in.
Oh no, I mean,
but
you touch on it.
Product market fit is a real thing, right? And it's just really understanding what you have and how it fits in your market, right? So just understanding how your buyers work, how your buyers buy. You understand what problems they have, and you have to understand what problem you're solving that they're having, right? So once you figure those things out, then you can test, right? So you had to test your messaging at that point. Okay, if I've decided that this is their problem, this is the problem I want to fix, then I can kind of work through my messaging to see if I can get them over to me.
Okay.
And then when you get them over to you, then focus all your time on the result.
Okay.
Right. A lot of times, especially new businesses, new founders, they always focus on benefits or features or something like that. But you need to more focus on the result, right? What are they going to get? They get your product and they use it, they love it. What happened afterwards? And that's where your messaging comes from.
Okay, I see. Okay. So, so your advice is not to hire someone right away, because obviously you don't have the means or the cost, or to hire someone at this time. What of interns? What about interns or friends who can help?
Interns,
facilitate?
I would use interns, but again, have something you want your intern to do. Like I think one of the things that people kind of run into is I get to a point where I want to get an assistant because like I got a bunch of busy work going on, and so I bring an assistant in. But now you ain't really get rid of your busy work. You gave it to somebody else, but now you also got to manage them.
Oh yeah, true. And then you got to check on them. And
right, you got to check on
yourself.
You got to build schedules for them. You got to build calendars for them.
Oh yeah.
So you really just added more work, right?
Yeah.
So it makes more sense to build out that system and process. And once you get it to the point and you got that market fit, it makes better sense to hire somebody that's already good at what you need, whether it's marketing or advertising or sales or even if it's admin, right? Hire an admin director. It's better to hire an admin director than it is to hire somebody, right?
Like a random person.
Like a random, because you still got to manage them.
Yeah.
And you got to build your schedule. Now you got to build their schedule.
I see. Okay. Well, speaking of help and what, just trying to get everything organized, what do you think of AI agents that are now available to everyone, and people can just, kind of add a prompt and get some results right away?
I love them.
You love it. Okay.
I love AI agents. I love the whole AI system. I've been in it well before ChatGPT ever hit the market. But I think agents are great, especially for startups and founders and things like that. But even with an agent versus prompting, right? You still have to kind of figure out what you want to accomplish. And I'll come back to that every single time. But a prompt is a prompt. That's fine. But if you prompt an AI agent, or you set up an AI agent, or you prompt a chat, every time you prompt it, it's going to give you a different situation. It's going to give you a different answer.
Yeah.
So,
and I mean, I've used it. It's been helpful. I've taken a few ideas and steps on how to structure certain things. I'm still pretty bad at planning. No, I was kidding. I just want to know, what are some last practical, advice that you'd like the listeners to, to know?
My last most practical advice is every day, just be thankful for that day. Have a plan for that day.
Okay.
Tomorrow is a whole different day. But if you got a plan, then you know how to approach it. So it's just I don't know. I'm just one of those people that just enjoy life. Things happen, stuff get thrown our way or whatever, and you have to adjust, you have to change, you have to move. But it's always temporary.
Okay.
So
that's great.
Just enjoy life.
Where can they just contact you if they need your services?
Mostly, and for me, from that side of the world, construction services, management, consultant, you're going to mostly find me on LinkedIn. You can check my site, which is vpvsllc.com. That's my core construction site, but it's set up like construction management, so it's not just big old thing with all these pictures and all that.
Okay, yeah.
It's like a resume type thing.
Okay, and you're also on LinkedIn, right?
And I'm also on LinkedIn.
Okay. Well, thanks again, Freddie, for being here with me, and I appreciate you. So this is In The Frame. Thanks for watching.